Welcome to dyslexiawayofthinking.co.uk presentation and lecture What is Dyslexia by Steve Milner, myself. I'm not going to go into science today of what dyslexia is because I don't really think that is greatly needed for dyslexic students. What I think dyslexics need is, rather than me, when anyone saying you have a disability, I always believe it's a way of thinking, because there's a number of strategies which I use and many dyslexic students use which aid their success in learning and life. There's also the ability to wear coloured lenses, which reduces eye fatigue and therefore increases reading ability. So I'm not going to go into the negative side of what dyslexia is in this presentation. Now, we need to know the positives. We need to think of the positives for dyslexia, because if I was to tell you every day in the classroom, you struggle with reading, you struggle with writing, you're thick, you're stupid, you will begin to believe this. So therefore, low self-esteem and low self-acceptance. And this is one of the biggest problems with dyslexic students. They believe they can't do their work, or they believe they will struggle, so therefore they will do less. And we need to think, teachers need to put a positive spin on it, so do parents. That's why I always say dyslexia is a way of thinking. Dyslexia is a disability. We know that. There is scientifically proven that dyslexics do have problems with their reading and writing. This is due to issues within signals to the brain and in the brain. But let's turn this as an argument's sake of, what if you put 30 students who are dyslexic in a classroom and you then put one student who was not dyslexic, and you taught everyone in the dyslexic way? The non-dyslexic would have the issue, not the non-dyslexic, not the dyslexics. Dyslexics have been found to think in pictures. If you were to ask a dyslexic to write a list of bullet points on a subject, they would be describing a picture in their mind. Non-dyslexics do that, but it's been found that dyslexics use more picture thinking in their memory more to learn. You might be thinking, why should we look at the positive of dyslexia? Now, because at the moment dyslexics are told, for example, to go to the disability department in school, the needs department. And dyslexics are not thick, they're not dumb, they can work. But schools have this narrow-mindedness in the education system that points dyslexics as being stupid. But if we look at today's world, we have so many dyslexics who are the richest people in the world, the top earners, top in business, top celebrities. So they're not. These people, these dyslexics who are successful, have a way of doing it, a way of working. And it's because dyslexia is a way of thinking. They have strategies. Schools negatively put students as a label, and I believe it should be a positive label. There are techniques to learn, and at the moment dyslexics, because they're in a non-dyslexic environment, they learn with their weaknesses. But there are also many strengths. Dyslexics need to learn what their strengths are, what their gifts are, what their skills are, and try to use them to overcome their weaknesses. Now, what I'm trying to say is, throughout all my lectures and presentations, is dyslexia is, yes, it has the negatives, but there are many strengths. And only when a student sees their strengths, taught to use those strengths, taught to use study skills techniques with their strengths, do they start to excel in the classroom. And the label of this disability causes discrimination not just in the classroom but later in life. And it's important that, yes, they have difficulty with their reading, their writing, but it's important to let them use their actual skills, their creative skills, to aid their work. I hope you've enjoyed this lecture. I know it's a bit strange from the topic of what dyslexia is and what I'm slightly been discussing on this lecture, but I think it's a very valid point I'm trying to make. If you have any questions or any responses, please do email me at stephen@dyslexiawayofThinking.co.uk. You can also find me on my Facebook group, which has over 10,000 members, at What Dyslexia. You can also find loads and loads of information on dyslexia on my blog, dyslexiawayofThinking.co.uk, and you can also find more videos about dyslexia from me at iamdyslexic.net. Thank you very much for listening today, and keep on listening.